Meaning anime would go.
Yes. Yeah.
You heard it here
Meaning
first.
That Studio Ghibli would be in
Roger hates anime. Just kidding.
Right, exactly. That's your world exclusive. That's your clickbait. RogersBase actually hates anime. Exactly.
Hi, I'm Try, and I had the wonderful opportunity to chat with and play Smash Bros. With RogersBase, the RogersBase, like my favorite content creator on YouTube right now, who has great reactions to Nintendo or One Piece.
Everyone! Jigglypuff! Pichu! Oh!
Yeah, that RogersBase. This is just us chatting about various topics, and I wanted to once again say thank you to Roger for our conversation and for your Pirate King member tier, which enabled us to do so. Enjoy. There we go.
Sakurai is just the most wonderful human being on earth.
Oh, he's great. It's part of me is kind of mad that I love Smash so much, but I also love it when he does other stuff. So it's like, why can't there just be two Sakurais we can get?
There's gotta be. I know. Well, so what do you think he's actually making? I'm curious.
I don't have a good guess for it, but I mean, I want to say, I don't want to be random. Hold up. I want to say it's Kid Icarus sequel, but I don't think that's.
Oh my god.
I don't think that's it.
I would love that with especially considering the fact that they have the mouse controls.
Yeah.
The Joy-Cons are gonna have, bro.
That would be perfect.
Insanely good. Even if because there was a rumor for a while that they were doing an Uprising HD remake.
Yeah.
And then there was that recent rumor going around that for the Switch Direct happening next month, there's going to be one more title that's from a niche beloved franchise. And people are like, oh, it's going to be Kid Icarus. But I'm like, why would they do Kid Icarus on the first Switch? They got to do it on Switch 2 with the mouse controls.
Yep.
It would make no sense to bring it out now. If they were going to do that and it was already done or something like that, then bring it out on Switch 2 at launch.
Yeah, so I wonder if Bandai Namco is the one that would do that remake first, and then maybe a sequel could come out a couple years later. I don't know how they do it.
Bandai Namco has two full teams. They've got Team S, which the assumption is they're always working on Smash, and then they've got the other team, which I'm presuming is the one that's working on either Kid Icarus or whatever Sakurai tells them to work on, or whatever Nintendo tells them to work on, like a Star Fox Assault clone or something like that. I don't know. Or a remaster, that'd be cool.
I need to learn to play and talk at the same time. It's so hard.
Especially if you're going to be a content creator, you gotta.
I know, I gotta figure it out.
Thing down pat. Hey, you're doing pretty good though so far. Don't feel bad. Also, I am so sorry. I did not realize I have item gun. That is disgusting.
That was almost
I
cool.
have to fix that for you. Let's see. Watch go in the other direction. All right, here we go.
I love Sephiroth. He just feels so stiff to me when I play him.
See, I feel like I like Sephiroth because I just like him. I think I get around his deck just because I like him so much. Not necessarily because I think he's really good.
Yeah.
Though I feel like there are probably some top tier players with Sephiroth.
Yeah, no, I know Nairo used to play him a lot. I'd watch that.
Sephiroth?
Yeah. He had a Nairo. It was I don't know how long ago it was. Probably when he released, but.
Probably pre the Exodus.
Yeah.
Back in, when did the Smash Exodus happen? That was mid 2020 or something.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's see you later, Mario.
I also. Sorry, go ahead.
Smash is so fire. I was just saying his Final Smash is so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't play with items, so I don't know what most of this stuff does.
Don't worry, I'll turn off items on the next one. I didn't realize that the rule set had items on.
Oh, you're good.
It's my way to get a cheap win on you first. So you're can't have it that RogersBase loses every single time. Oh, wait a minute! Oh! What the heck? Flying across the other side.
I actually almost met you at Nintendo Live in Seattle.
No way.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, I was there, but I was there on a different day.
Oh, that stinks.
But I had a question I wanted to ask you. If I met you. And now this is it, so.
Oh, so now you're like, okay, well, what's the question?
I've got the question. So, Disney, Nintendo, anime, one's gotta go.
Oh, Disney, bye. See you later.
Really? That quick?
Over. Yeah,
immediately?
Yeah, immediately.
I'm including Disneyland, too. So, the theme park.
Oh,
does that change anything?
That does actually change it. Wait a minute. I'll tell you the one that absolutely would not go is Nintendo.
Yeah,
that's my absolute number one.
I'm the exact same. Nintendo stays. That's childhood. That's everything.
There was a thread on Resetera just a couple days ago where someone was like, FromSoft, Capcom, Nintendo, 2 have to go and 1 stays forever. What's the one you're saving? And everybody in the thread expected, like, because Resetera is mainly like Sony, a lot of Sony people.
Okay.
And people were expecting that it was going to be like, oh, FromSoft or the Capcom. And the guy who even started the thread was like, I know everyone's going to say kill Nintendo. And literally everyone across the board was like, obviously, we're saving Nintendo.
Yeah,
because the ripple effect of Nintendo being gone in the industry, I think, is not a world that I would like to live.
Yeah, I mean, there's no industry without them, so it's silly to get rid of them.
Man, so Disney includes the parks. It's not just like... Oh,
I will give it, so you can keep everything before, like, the acquisition stuff. So Star Wars, that's still its own thing. I mean, you get rid of the movies and stuff, but...
Oh, that's good. So Star Wars...
Yeah, you can still have old Star Wars, anything... I just killed myself. That's so
okay, all right, let me think about this. This is actually a tough question then.
Yeah, I figured this is the 3 that I also would struggle with because I love all 3 pretty, except Nintendo. Like anime that's a tough one.
I'm thinking because like it's weird. Obviously, there are a lot of anime that I like, but I've said this before on however many occasions, and people are always surprised when I say this. I mean, I unequivocally like video games more than I like anime. Like if you had gun to my head, one of the 2, what would I choose? I would say video games. With that being said, I feel like the anime that I really, really love, right? Like I'm obsessive over it. Like your One Piece's, Attack on Titans, Hunter x Hunter's, you know, even like a lot of smaller stuff, like things like Terror and Resonance I really like, or like I just like Sergeant Frog, Hamtaro. There's a lot. I think whereas with Disney, there is like a specific era of Disney that I really love, which is like the Renaissance where I grew up, right? So like your
like the 90s
Little
stuff.
Mermaid up to like Tarzan. I love. And everything else outside of like maybe Frozen a little bit later or some of the really early stuff, I feel like I'm kind of hit or miss. Whereas the parks themselves, I adore.
Oh,
I mean,
they're so good.
I love going to
There's
the
a disconnect there. You can like separate what Disney does now that we might not love with the parks. It's
Which
just...
I think is also what makes this difficult, right? Because I think the Disney of today, I would kill no question. That would be the one that would go. Because I think Disney today is like so reliant on remakes and like live action versions of stuff, and it's just it's sad. I don't like it.
It's sad.
It is sad. It is genuinely sad. So for me, I can't say that I would keep that. Also, by the way, I changed the items off and Final Smash Meter off, so you're good to go.
Sweet.
You said we can keep Star Wars, like
so pre-acquisition stuff you can keep. So Marvel too, you get Marvel.
So much of my childhood is like that Renaissance era of Disney.
Yeah.
I think honestly, the thing that would push me over to choose Disney over anime would be the parks.
Yeah. But Nintendo Land,
anime includes. Okay, here's the workaround, right?
Yeah.
Here's gonna be my potential way to get out of this.
Okay.
Disney was the rights holders for Studio Ghibli for like a long time. They were the right holder. Now, G-Kids currently owns Studio Ghibli movies. It's no longer Disney. But assuming Disney at one point owned Studio Ghibli, I would say for the purposes of this discussion that the Studio Ghibli stuff would be included with Disney.
If you kept
despite the fact, obviously, it's anime. So I would say Disney with the caveat that Studio Ghibli is actually included with Disney due to the rights and licensing.
Meaning anime would go.
Yes. Yeah.
You heard it here first.
That Studio Ghibli would be in
Roger hates anime. Just kidding.
Right, exactly. That's your world exclusive. That's your clickbait. RogersBase actually hates anime. Exactly. No, I think that would have to be the only way that I would get out of that. Now, obviously, like they licensed all kinds of different stuff. I mean, one of the interesting things, I don't know if you had the chance to watch the Nintendo Museum tour video that I did, but like one of the things that I brought up in that video and in the fact video I did afterwards, I was honestly stunned going through the museum at how much history Disney and Nintendo had with one another. Like how many things in the 60s and the 70s Nintendo made officially licensed merchandise for Disney.
Yeah.
We had like Mickey Mouse board games, Bambi card sets, Sleeping Beauty, like Sleeping Beauty toys, all kinds of stuff. And I also didn't realize like pretty soon after World War II, Walt Disney reached out to Nintendo, which at the time was still obviously a playing card company, and said, hey, look, bygones be bygones. Do you want to make stuff using our properties? And Nintendo said, yep, these are what we want to make. And Walt Disney said, okay, cool, we're good to go. And they had a tea ceremony at the old Nintendo headquarters, which is now the Marufukuro Hotel.
Wow.
So there's just like a lot of really interesting history there.
How soon after World War I was, or World War II was that?
I mean, it had to have been at least like 10 years.
Yeah.
At max, it was 10 years.
Yeah, I can't see the day after Walt Disney being like, hey, so.
No, it wasn't like, all right, yeah, Japan surrendered and Walt Disney like shuffled his way over there.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it was relatively soon after. It was sooner after than you would have expected.
Right.
And again, seeing that stuff there, like the playing card sets with Bambi and Sleeping Beauty on them, or like all the different little board games, all the little Mickey Mouse stuff. I think it was really cool because they had like a whole designated section for the Disney stuff within like the toy wall on the surrounding top floor. And the thing that I found super duper funny is at the end of the toy wall with the Disney stuff, they had the Sora amiibo. And it really does bring things full circle where it's like, oh yeah, I guess they are still making Disney toys to this day.
Wow, that's so interesting.
And then also, you know, so many people thought for a long time, myself included, especially as somebody who used to work for Walt Disney Corporation as a contractor, it's funny. It's like I thought never in a million years would Sora be in Smash, knowing how they are about their properties.
Yeah.
And yet it happened. And then seeing their history at the museum and seeing like, oh no, actually,
it made more sense.
There was a connection there. Yeah, you're like, oh well, of course.
This wasn't out of nowhere. This wasn't.
No, they've been working with Disney for forever.
The seeds have been set. They've been planted.
Exactly.
Time to sow with Sora. That's cool.
Yeah, with Sora.
I had a video idea coming up actually that maybe you can give me some input on.
Let's hear it. Let's
go. Obviously I'm also a wee Disney. I love the parks.
Of course.
I love that means I'm going to, when I go eventually, love the Nintendo parks.
Oh, have you not been yet?
No. It's going to be so my family's planning a trip, but we're not planning for like 2027 to go.
Well, that's actually you're better off, honestly, because another little bit of inside baseball. How much of the parks tracker, like news sites, how much of that do you follow?
I feel like pretty often. There's like a podcast I follow. Well, they do more than podcasts, but they kind of go all in on like updates to the parks, like building and stuff. I don't know if they actually do like crowd trackers or anything like that.
So
but
do you know already about like the Islands of Adventure thing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where that is potentially going to be Zelda?
Yeah, with a boat ride.
Right.
Yeah.
That, to me, if that ends up coming out in like 2027, you're going for the launch of what's potentially going to be the Zelda ride.
Okay, that's
like, I feel
valid.
like that's the best time to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll iron out all the kinks that are happening at the Donkey Kong world. Nintendo World isn't changing. They have that in all the parks, and it's awesome. But again, it's like you're in no rush. And if you get the chance to go for Mario, Zelda, and Donkey Kong, even better.
Yeah, I'm super excied for it. But my question, I had a specific question about that.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. So, for my video, I want to do a kind of a what if scenario. What rides, what attractions would we see for specific Nintendo IP? Like, obviously, they're probably not going to make a Metroid area, but if they did, what kind of rides would we see? And so,
how about you ask me and I'll do it. I'll tell you right now all my answers to all the different IPs.
Do you have like stuff in the chamber, or is this on the fly?
I can come up with it right now on the fly. This is great.
Okay.
This is quality content.
We'll start with Zelda. I'll give you what I have. Or this is actually my brother. I have to tell everyone that he gave me the idea, or he'd be upset. So, his is Dumbo, but make it Loft Wings from Skyward Sword.
Oh my God!
Isn't that perfect?
That's like the perfect kids ride.
It makes sense.
Oh my God!
You got the Skyward Sword, the flying music. It's just so good.
Yes, with the Loft Wings.
Yes,
yeah, that is for sure a thing they got to do. Especially because, like, Nintendo World as it is right now. I've been to the one that's in Hollywood, obviously, because I live right here, and I also was just at the one that was in Japan when I was there for the Nintendo Museum. And the one in Japan has an additional ride. It has the Yoshi ride, which is like more for kids. And I could totally see them doing something similar with Zelda, where there's like a kids ride and then a ride for everybody, essentially.
Yeah.
And I think the everybody ride is probably that rumored boat ride.
Yeah.
And I feel like the kids ride could easily be Loft Wings. Yeah, that's great.
So if you had to pick a Zelda ride, what would you do?
I mean, to be fair, Wind Waker is like one of my favorites, alongside Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. So I also would probably have chosen the boat ride.
Yeah,
like you have
assuming they do it in the theme of Wind Waker.
Well, that's my caveat, right? Is that the boat ride would have to be in the King of the Red Lions, right? You're going through and maybe you fight the different bosses from the game. You see the giant fire Goma. You go through Dragon Roost. You see Makar and the little Koroks playing on the violin. You get, Godon, the crazy like Andros looking thing in the tower. You go through and see like Sunken Hyrule. You fight Ganondorf and stab him in the head. Like, dude, that's peak. That would be peak.
That'd be so good. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Well, you just completely took me off the top of the stage. I'm like, what just happened there? Man, I have not played this stage in like forever.
Yeah, I mean, I forgot it existed. I think last time I played it was Brawl, probably.
That's right. This was like one of the secret stages in Brawl. Mm-hmm. It is kind of wild to think of all the stuff they brought back. They brought back this one.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, what are they doing for the next one? How do you beat everything is here? Besides just completely redoing it.
I'm of two minds of this. On one hand, I'm like, we're obviously getting a new Mario Kart this gen, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So on one hand, I'm like, look, you're two big heavy hitters, super successful multiplayer series outside of Animal Crossing, right? Which isn't the same type of multiplayer. It's not competitive multiplayer. I feel are Smash and Mario Kart. And I think, with Switch 1, we had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and we had, which was, remade sort of version of the game, the original game, with a bunch of added stuff and DLC. And then we had a ground up, built from the ground up Smash Brothers game. And that included everything. And I feel like we're going to get the opposite with Switch 2. I feel like we're probably getting all new Mario Kart, and then most likely Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe.
Yeah.
With like all the DLC on the disc or on the cartridge, whatever.
And I'm okay with that.
I think all the DLC is probably going to be included. I think you're going to get like, maybe like a real adventure mode, like the classic Melee one, or something like a Subspace, or they just bring back something like Smash Run, right? Which
Smash Run was so good.
Right?
That's why 3DS was better.
yeah, I agree. 3DS was better than the Wii U one. Hot take, but I'm in complete agreement. So I could definitely see them doing something like that as well. And whether or not that's what I want, I don't know. I go back and forth.
Yeah,
it's on the day. Part of me wants a reboot, where they give like all new moves to Mario and Link and Samus, and they kind of make the things more modern, right? You have like Mario with Cappy in his moveset. You've got Link with all the weird Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom physics. You've got like Samus with the counter from Samus Returns and like some of the
whatever she'll have in Prime 4.
Right, Prime 4 or whatever. Like I'd love that, but at the same time, you can't do that with necessarily like every character. Certain characters, their kits are just kind of perfect as they are.
Right.
And it would feel weird.
Or they haven't had a game in so long. How do you refresh that? How do you refresh Ice Climbers?
How do you refresh like Falcon?
Yeah.
Like, you keep Captain Falcon.
Yeah, you can't take away Falcon Punch. That's just too iconic.
No, it's way too iconic. Exactly. So I don't really know what I want. I'll ask you, like, what do you want of the next Smash?
I think I just never thought about it because I'm in the same boat. Like Mario Kart, I could think of stuff, but Smash, I love this game. I don't know. Even like Wii U, I feel like there was stuff wrong with it. You could just say, Deluxe, and then give us 2 battle passes again with more characters, and I think I'd be totally content with that because this game's great.
Everything on disc and all the DLC, just like with the base game, and then you gave us like I don't know, like 10 new characters or something, right? And then like a new substantial mode, like Smash Run.
Yeah.
And you release that, and then you do challenger packs throughout the life of Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that's
all you need. And I think that gives Sakurai some room to do another project, which I think would be even more valuable. So
it could be a new Kid Icarus. He can go back to Kirby. He can do any number of stuff. All right, you got one more match. I got one more match. Time for one more.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I want to keep talking Smash Brothers, but what stage do you want? And what character do you want me to play? I'm gonna leave it up to you for this last.
I don't like that. Picking your character. No, pick whoever you want.
You're literally paying to be on this tier.
What?
You tell me what you want me to do.
I'm not paying for it. I basically got it paid for with free Cuphead.
There you go. See, with free Cuphead, you exchanged it exactly.
Let's both go random. How about that?
All right. Let's see. Let's do random.
Do Final Destination for this stage.
Oh, good. Okay, I'll
No, sorry. I'm changing it. Smashville. Do Smashville.
Okay, for the last one.
Yeah.
I like that. Let's do that. We'll do Smashville. And let's go... Where is this? Smashville. Why am I only seeing Town and City? What is this nonsense?
It's weird they're not together.
It is weird that they also got to make like a better Animal Crossing stage.
Yeah.
I guess they have Tortimer Island. That's cute, but like Smashville and Town and City are too alike. All right, I got Smashville.
Sweet. And then for I guess our final little bit of chatting.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I want you to ask me some questions.
All right, okay. Here's the first one. First question.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo comes up to you. They go, Try, we love your videos. We are dying to know, what are the 3 games you want us to make for Switch 2? Doesn't matter how weird, doesn't matter how niche the franchise. 3 games, and we'll make them. Go.
3 games.
3 games. And now, the caveat to this is it has to be Nintendo first party. You can't be like Chrono Trigger 2.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It's got to be from them.
Nintendo related. Right. What would it be? Because I have an answer to this, and I'll save it for the end, but I want to hear yours.
Right off the bat, you need to give me a new IP. I know they're going to do it, but I just love when Nintendo tries stuff. Like, I feel like that's why Splatoon is what it is, because on the Wii U, they tried something new. And that's ARMS might not be the same, caliber, but it still has a fan base.
ARMS?
Oh, I'm not disrespecting it, but it's no Splatoon.
I'm like, ARMS? No, it's not. No. But I'm like, I love me ARMS.
Yeah.
I'm a big defender of that game.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of haters. I don't put myself in that camp, but I'm not in the camp of I love it. So, but try something. Just try something new. And I think that'll really help with how similar the Switch 2 is going to feel to Switch.
Do you have a genre in particular for that new IP that you would like to see them try? Because there's obviously so many different video game genres that Nintendo's never even attempted.
Yeah.
So, like, do you have one in mind? Or just, like, something new in general?
I don't know. Just, like, experiment. I think that's when they're at their best, is when they're trying something. So it's going to be probably something with mouse functionality, I'm thinking.
Yep.
So I don't have any good answers. Maybe some resource management game, like a Subnautica, or I don't know.
Oh, my God. Nintendo
I think that could be cool.
IP, that would be incredible.
Actually, I'm going to change my answer to Metroidvanias. I'm going to change it. Like a Hollow Knight with, like, Zelda. But like maybe don't do Zelda, but new IP. But I think that would be spicy.
Okay. Great.
So that's one.
All right.
Kid Icarus 2.
Nice.
Easily.
Nice.
It just doesn't get the love it deserves because nobody wanted to play it. And it's just like nobody knew what it was. It was on the 3DS when 3DS was still pretty new. Probably still $250. And it might have been $170 at the time. But it just doesn't get the love it deserves. So I think a sequel would get people to go back and look at where it came from. I hope it's not just a remake, but it could be. Third, man, I don't know. I think whatever. It's okay. No, it's. I already said this in one of my videos, but it's Mario Baseball. I love Super Sluggers so much. It's
that's
like.
Based. Unequivocally, no pun intended, that is based. Wanting baseball back is based.
I'm also just a big baseball fan. Like, I love the Diamondbacks. That's kind of my team.
Right on.
And I don't know, Super Sluggers, I played that with my siblings just endlessly. And I feel like it's got a cult following. There's a lot of people that still play it and do tournaments on the Wii. So I think it would have a really good home on Switch. And I hope it's not done, like some of the sports Mario games we've been getting, because I don't think they're as quality as, GameCubes, for example. But
I will actually jump right into mine now that you said Mario Baseball, because that actually directly leads into one of mine.
Oh.
Which is also a Mario sport, which is bizarre, right? Because I'm not I like Mario.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of the franchise, but like I've said this before, I like Sonic and Donkey Kong more when it comes to platformers. Like, I'm not the biggest 2D Mario fan.
I'm the
I love
same.
3D Mario.
I loved Wonder, but that's...
Yeah, Wonder.
I loved Wonder.
I mean, Wonder was good, but like Odyssey, Sunshine 64, those are my jam. I'm much more like 3D Mario. My pick for something I absolutely think it's criminal they have not gone back to is Mario Basketball.
Oh, like some 3-on-3 for the DS?
I adored Hoops 3-on-3, but
yeah.
I want actual, like an NBA 2K style real basketball, but Mario.
Yeah.
And to actually go full out with it, and I would want and the caveat for this is I want the game to have the attitude of not the new one, but the original Mario Strikers, where the characters were like slapping their crotches and
we're gritty
at each other and mean.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
I really, 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 really want that.
Yeah.
And I think it's criminal that they haven't actually gone back, one, to that style, in the same type of meaningful way, but 2, that they have to go back to basketball, because I love, that's like the one sport I really love that I actively follow. And I think Mario, specifically like basketball's all about jumping.
Right.
I mean, it makes the most
why
sense
isn't
of
the
any
jump
sport.
man in the game about jumping?
Why is the jump? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To me, Mario basketball is like one and done. You could have like super cute Mario themed teams.
Yeah.
You have like the San Francisco Koopas or whatever.
Sure.
Like, but you have them based on like different areas. You have like the Toast Arena Skeletons or something, or you have the New Donk City Donkers, or like whatever.
The Donkers, I like that.
The Donkers. So that's
you need to write that one down.
The New York City Donkers, exactly. All right, so that's one of mine. The second one, because I'm a big Animal Crossing fan.
Yep.
It is arguably my favorite franchise of Nintendo's. I love me a good Animal Crossing. I think it is wild that we have not gotten Pokemon Crossing.
Oh, I've never thought about that. Pokemon Crossing?
Living in a little town with with your little Pikachus and your little Jigglypuffs.
And this isn't Pokemon Ranch for the Wii, right?
No. This is Pokemon. And there's a person actually who on Twitter makes fan art of like the Pokemon characters in the new Leaf style.
Oh, cool.
That is incredible. Of like little villager Dragonite, little villager Pikachu, and Meowth and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that idea, that concept of like living in a village with your little Pokemon and doing your daily routines, like having some type of life sim with the Pokemon,
that'd be really good.
So cute.
I mean, Pokemon, you could plug and play that with any genre and it would do well.
Oh, yeah.
Like if they give it the time, like the characters are just so good that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and specifically, I would want the game to be developed by the team that makes Animal Crossing. Like I want this Pokemon Crossing to be the next big Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, New Horizons is great. And I realistically think if they wanted to, they could go like full on Smash Deluxe with New Horizons.
Yeah.
And just add a bunch of stuff to it. And considering New Horizons is like already going to be playable on Switch too, because it's backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Just like add more content to that game. You already did Happy Home Paradise, like do another major expansion and build upon it. And for your next like big game, do Pokemon Crossing. Like have that team go hog wild and like make something really interesting and cool. So that would be my second.
That's a cool answer. How long have you thought about that for?
I mean, forever. It's like my dream game. I want it. Yeah, really badly. Now, my third. My third is going to be one that also seems kind of obvious because I love fighting games. I would love to see Nintendo's take on a 3-on-3 tag battle fighter. Like 2D tag fighter a la Marvel. I love Marvel too. I've always been a fan of it. I think the idea of where could you go with Smash Brothers after Smash Ultimate, in my brain, I'm like, change the genre, right? Don't do platform fighter. Do a tag battler. And man, like the potential for like such amazing stages for this is just completely off the wall. And the other thing about this game, this dream game, because again, I'm going super into it. The other thing about this dream game is I would want this game to be in a hand-drawn, sprite-based style. Like similar to like a Cuphead. Not obviously with the style of Cuphead, but I mean, you know how like everything in Cuphead is hand-drawn with the animations? I would want that, but I'd want it to look like the Marvel 2 art, if that makes sense. So it'd be Nintendo characters in a tag battler with all hand-drawn animations done with the style of like Marvel 2's key art.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my answer.
That's a good pick. I honestly, I am not a fighting game fan. So Smash Bros. Is my fighting game. That's just kind of...
I feel that, man.
I've played Injustice. I liked that game.
Oh, I'm sorry for your loss. That's
I feel like if I was a Dragon Ball fan, I would have tried Fighters, but...
Oh, dude, yeah, for sure. Fighters is great.
But that's just not my cup of tea, but that is a really good idea. What team would make it?
What team? Ooh. I mean...
Because that's kind of new territory for Nintendo.
We could have, I would say, Arc System, which already works with Bandai Namco to do Dragon Ball Fighters. And Nintendo already has a team at Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
Just literally hire the people that made Dragon Ball Fighters and have them do like a Smash tag battle. Like, it's literally all you got to do. The team is right there. Just reassemble the goats and have them do a tag battler.
It's solved. You solved it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
that's a great idea.
Right, last bit to this question before we wrap this up.
Yeah.
Because you didn't really say what I thought you were going to say, which is you said new entries and new IPs, and you didn't really do this. Okay. Nintendo says, that's great. We have 3 good new solid games from you. This is great. We also need 2 remakes. What are 2 Nintendo games that you would want to see remade for the Switch 2? What would those choices be?
My age is going to show here. DS and Wii is what I started with, so I feel like if I were to remake anything, it would be stuff that's fairly new.
Okay, that's fair. That's nothing wrong with that.
Give me 10 seconds. Give me 10 seconds. I got to go in the vault here. Think about that.
You're like thinking through like, all right, what exactly?
Yeah, what have I played?
I mean, I'll tell you one. I'll tell you one for me. I'll start on this one. One, I literally want Studio MDHR, which already makes, again, beautiful hand-drawn games, side-scrollers, you know, really challenging games. I think if you handed them Zelda 2, like the NES Zelda 2,
yeah,
and you have them remake it in a hand-drawn style with like the same difficulty level, could be incredible. And I think you get a lot of people who hate Zelda 2 to actually end up appreciating that game for what it really was.
Yeah.
So that would be
I mean,
one.
I'm one of those who quit after probably an hour because it was just frustrating and I didn't know what was happening.
That's completely fair. I think no less of you.
Thank you.
My other one would be Super Metroid.
Okay.
I think that game is, to this day, my favorite video game of all time. I love Super Metroid.
Is it really your favorite of all time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely my number one. Yeah, my number one favorite game of all time is Super Metroid. I find it incredibly replayable. I think I've beaten it like 30-something times in my life. I streamed a playthrough of it once. I did, challenges with it. I love the Metroid series. I think that game is just like as close to perfect as you can get in terms of pacing, in terms of atmosphere and music and story without actually like hammering you over the head with story.
Yeah.
Good twists, like just everything about it is just perfect to me. And I would love to see what they would do with the remake. But again, like I've said hand-drawn for like 3 of these, but I really think that type of, like a Hollow Knight type visual style for Super Metroid, I think would be so sick.
Yeah. That's really good. Okay, yeah. I think I've got my 2.
Let's hear them.
Ocarina of Time from the ground up.
You're going to get that. You're getting Ocarina of Time remake in
But is it going to be... I want
You're getting it.
I want the Final Fantasy VII remake treatment.
I would put money on this. You're getting it.
Roger, what do you know?
I don't know anything, but what I will tell you is that you have until 2028. You have until the exact 30th anniversary to get your YouTube channel to a point. This is my challenge to you. You're going to get your YouTube channel to a point where you can have memberships at a bunch of different tiers. Mm-hmm. And then I will join you at your Pirate King tier equivalent, if I'm wrong, by that point in 2028, if we don't end up getting Ocarina of Time remake.
Really?
I really feel so strongly that we are getting that. Yeah.
Okay, either way I win. So honestly, that was...
You win either way,
thank you for doing that. That's a dub for me.
Yeah. You got 3 years.
Okay. My second, Star Fox 64.
Ooh, that's a good choice. Even though they already made 3DS?
Yeah, so that was my first 3DS game I owned, and I think that one is where people have kind of been talking about it, doing it in the style of like Star Fox Adventures or like a No Man's Sky, really expounding on that.
I love that.
Because I think the story of the 64 is just so solid. Like I love it. And it's been a long time since I played it, so I feel like that's when I'm usually like, let's do a remake, is when it's something I haven't played in a while. I don't replay games. That's like, I don't do that very often. So,
really?
Yeah, and like if I see credits roll on a game, I don't care if you're getting DLC, I'm done. I can't go back. I'm broken in that way. I know it's horrible, but that's just how I am.
The next best thing, exactly.
Yeah, I'll take the next one. But Roger, thank you so much for doing this. I know it was part of your tier, but I still think it takes courage to invite random viewers who subscribe. You know what I mean? To be willing to chat with them and play games. So
super fun. Yeah, obviously super fun, and I'm happy to have done it. And like I said, I'm just happy that you're a fellow content creator, because then you could actually make stuff out of it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, when I do these, I sit down with people and I do my game nights, and we don't end up recording it. It's just like us hanging out for half an hour and doing it. So the fact that this one is immortalized and that you're the first one of 2025, like the Mon hasn't happened yet, and a bunch of other ones haven't happened yet. So like, you're coming in at a good time.
It's both a memory and a record.
Like it. There you go. Exactly. We have a record of the memory. Exactly.
I'll probably tweet it out. Maybe hit that RT. You know what I'm saying?
I'll hit
That'd be cool.
RT. I'll hit that RT. I'll hit that like. I'll hit that comment. I'll get that community post. I'll get all that good stuff.
Oh,
yeah, I got
great.
you, man.
Thank you for all your support.